Hey guys, quickly confirm I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Guys, can you confirm, guys? I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So let's start our session. So today, what I planned, right? So we can cover two topics, guys, today. So that is my agenda today. That we will cover two topics. One is we will cover your EC2, Elastic Cloud Computing with user data. With your user data. So this is the first topic that I'm going to cover. The second one, we will cover S3. When I say S3, simple storage service, right? So we'll try to do these two topics today. EC2 with user data and S3, simple storage service. So let me quickly go to my first session, which is EC2 with user data. So what is the purpose of EC2 with user data? EC2 with user data. What is the purpose of EC2 with user data? Now to understand this one, let me open my AWS console and click on sign into console. Now I can create one EC2, and click on EC2. And you can see the instances. I can go ahead and create one new instance because I don't have any instance yet. So let me create one instance. So I can give some name, say this is my Linux server, Linux server. It is the instance name I'm giving, and along with that I have to select the AMI. Yeah, I can go with the Linux AMI and come with the instance type. Yeah, I can select the T2 micro and I will go with the key pair. Let me create one new key pair also. So this is key pair, which is a February 22 February. That's enough. Come below and I can go with the Tom fem file and create a key pair. So I got the key pair also. And then it took settings. I can see I can allow the SSH traffic. And the storage part, we already done EBS, elastic block storage. We have done the EBS and we have done the snapshot. Along with it, we also seen yesterday EFS. So you already remembered, right? There are two drawbacks with respect to EBS. We cannot attach multiple EC2 with single EBS, and the EBS needs to be in the same availability zone as EC2 also. And we have eliminated by EBS multi-attach feature. Again, we have a two more drawback, like Nitro system and the provision IOPS only that allow, and we moved into EFS then. And we have discussed the EFS and we have created the EFS also. And we configured the multiple EC2 with a single EFS also. The file sharing, the storage that we shared, right? The shared storage, that also we have done. So today my main focus is talking about the user data. See, before understanding the user data, let me ask you one question, right? See, suppose I want to install a software, maybe a Python software in a Linux machine, maybe it is an AWS cloud, right? I want to install some software, in my Linux machine of AWS cloud. Can you tell me how can I install some software in the Linux machine?
Through M command, sir.
To M command, correct. So what basically we will do? We will log into our instance. We will log into our EC2 instance. If it is an EC2 instance, we will log into EC2 instance. Then, as you mentioned, we have to use some command. Maybe consider like yum command, yum install, and you have to give the package name. Whatever the utility that you want to install, that you can able to install. This is the one way. Good, you are correct. Now my question is, I want to install some software in maybe 100 servers at the same time. 100 server at the same time in AWS cloud. How can I do that one? So I want to install some software, maybe a Python, Java, Jenkins, every software. Consider like I have a 10 software. In your company, there are 100 employees, they are working. For all those 100 employees, I want to install the software. The one way is what? We can connect with each and every machine, each and every employee, and we can get the laptop and we can install the software. That's the one way. But it's a tedious process, right? It's a tedious process. Now tell me, if you have a 100 machine, I want to install the software in a single shot. Is it possible? How can I do that one? The answer is we have to go for user data. In AWS, we have one advanced feature called user data. Through that, what you guys can do, you can write some kind of scripting. You can write all those Linux commands here, and then whatever the operation that you want to perform, you can able to perform. Even during the login itself, while creating the EC2 instance. While creating the EC2 instance itself, what you guys can do, you can define the user data. Thereby, whatever the expectation, whatever the operation that you want to perform, that you guys can be able to perform. That's the purpose of user data. I cannot go to each instance and I cannot go to log into each instance and you have to use the command. Is it a very difficult, right? If it is 1 or 2 machine, I can do. But if it is more than 1 or 2 machine, how can I? It is very difficult. For that reason, only AWS provide on top of EC2, we have this feature called user data. You have to write all those Linux commands over there and you guys can able to install different software. So let's try to understand practically, then only you will get some idea, right? Suppose I will create here in a 2 instance. I'm creating number of instances is 2. In both the instance, once you launch, after that you can connect to each instance, you can log into each EC2 instance, and you can able to install the software that already you know. But what I am going to cover here, during the EC2 creation itself, while creating the EC2 instance, how to install the software, not after connecting to EC2 instance, right? So can you see the advanced detail here and click on this? When you come below, you have many options, right? In that we have one option called user data. Can you see a user data? It is an option. So here you can define, here you guys can define what do you want to do, what kind of operation that you are expecting, that you guys can define through the Linux command, right? Suppose you are joining a company, you are joining in a team, there are 10 employees, they are currently working, all are working with the same AWS cloud. Now all those 10 machines, I want to install some software, because you are the support guy, you are the administrator guy, you need to install the software in all the machine. It is not required, right? Every machine you have to go and you have to install. It is very difficult. It's a tedious job. What simply you can do, you can apply the user data. So see, I'm going to write some kind of commands here. So I already have some command. Let me get that one. So in order to install my software, see, I have one readme file. Let me open this readme file, and I can increase the size also. And whatever the file that I have, and I will copy this, and I will paste it here. So what is this user data all about? So what I have written here, what I have done, I am installing a HTTPD server. It is an Apache server. So whenever you use the hash means, right, what is hash means? Command line. It is ignorable. You just ignore this one. Only thing is you have to focus on this one. Whenever you use the hash, it means that ignore. All right. So only thing is you have to focus on this one. This is the basic command I have written. What I have written here, if you are already not updated, just update your machine. The second one, install the Apache server, HTTPD server. The third one, I have to start the HTTPD server, and I have to enable the HTTPD server, and just I need to print a message. Hello world from something. Hello world from the host name. Right? Simple script I have written. I'm updating the server. I'm installing the Apache server, and I am starting the server, enabling the server, and just typing some message. What's the message I'm writing? Hello world from maybe a host name, the IP address, the DNS name that I'm typing. In which file I'm doing? Everything I'm doing inside the index.html file. So suppose if you are working in a company, if you are doing some kind of operation like this, where you have to do the changes in user data. First of all, you have to prepare your Linux command, and you have to put it inside the user data. Simple. Right? So once you have done this one, it's a user data. User data, it is not only for one instance. If you mention 100 instance here, it means that in all the 100 server, this particular Apache Tomcat server will be installed. What you are trying to do? You are trying to install the server, Apache server, Tomcat server. That server will be installed in all the 100 server in a single shot. While creating the EC2 itself, you can define the user data. Right? Now, let me click on not 100. I don't want 100 because I'm using the free tier. Let me go with the 2. 2 is enough. And click on launch instance. And come below and go to view all instance. And let me refresh this. All right, it will take some time. One got started actually. I can click on this and let me open the public IP address. I will copy the public IP address and I will paste it over there. Nope. And I will go with the second machine. That machine public IP address also I am copying, and I can try with another tab. Paste it. So this is also continuously running. Why? Because why it is running continuously? Why it is not allowing? Maybe due to some reason. Because we didn't allow the security group. There is a firewall, right? You are trying to access your Tomcat server, Apache server. You are trying to access the Apache server. Now what you need to do? You need to allow the Apache server. How can I allow the Apache server? So for that, you just click on this and go to your security and click on the security group where you can see inbound rule, and you have to allow the inbound rule. How can I allow the inbound rule? Click on edit inbound rule and you can add a rule saying that I need to allow HTTP. I need to allow HTTP and from over the network, anywhere over the network. Just to save the rule. Save the rule. Let me go to the next instance also. I will go with the second instance. Click on security. Click on that one and go to the inbound rule where you can see the edit inbound rule. Here also you have to allow HTTP. Okay, it is already created. Just click on save rule. And it means that first instance is not created. Once, okay. Save the rule. Okay, it got saved
So
actually.
it says custom in source.
Okay, anywhere iteration. Yes. Just to save the rule. You have not any, okay, no changes actually. There is no changes. Wait. So once again, go to the EC2 instance. Let me go with the first instance and go to the security and click on security group. Let me check this one also. And click on, actually it is already added, HTTP and SSH. Okay, because we have applied the user data, right? For that reason. Okay, let me go to the instance. And let me refresh this. And this one also I will refresh. Can you see here? Hello world from, this is a particular IP address for that particular machine. Can you see what is the IP address? 3.11. This one, 172. It's a private IP address. 172.31.2. And if we go here, here also hello world from 172.31. So if we go here, 172.31 to 28. To 28. So we can able to see the message right here. So how it is possible? Because we can able to install an Apache server. After EC2 creation, we can go to our terminal where we can log into EC2 and we can do. But at a shot, in a single shot, while creating an EC2 instance itself, suppose for 100 server, I have to do this kind of operation and all. It is better to go for user data. Everyone clear what is user data?
Yes, sir. Can we do that in a different availability zone? It's currently now in 1B availability zone.
Yes.
So can we do that in like 1A, 1B?
Then if you want to go for different availability zone, then within an instance itself, it is not possible. You cannot select the multiple availability zone within an instance.
Okay. So it's not possible, right?
Yes, within a EC2 itself.
Okay.
All other good with respect to user data?
Yes, Dinesh.
Fine. So user data, the purpose is, after creating the EC2 instance, the one way is you can go to the terminal where you can be able to connect. But sometime I need to do the installation and all while creating the EC2 instance. For that reason, we are going for user data. Leave it. So this is a simple demo that I have given. You guys can use it. At the name of interview, people might ask, you can tell at the name of interview. Immediately we will go for the next concept, which is called S3. This is my second topic that we will cover. So S3, it is also one of the service, guys. S3 is also one of the service in your AWS. But before understanding S3, I will ask you one question. What is storage? What is meant by storage? A simple answer. Can we tell me what is storage?
Where all the
Storage is
data,
nothing.
where
Sorry?
all the data resides.
Exactly. Storage, it's where we can able to store our data. It's a kind of repository. It's a kind of a repository we can call, or it's a kind of a container where you can store your data, where you can store data. So for that, we are going for storage. Guys, if you design any product, consider like you are going to design one product, or you are designing some software. You are designing some software. The primary thing you have to remember, guys, whenever you develop any application, the layer which make a foundation at any product, which is nothing but your compute. First thing is you have to calculate what kind of services that you require. The second one, we have to focus on storage part. The third one, we have to focus on networking. And also we need to remember databases. So there are many layers that you need to remember while creating any or while developing any product, while designing any product or any software. So for compute, we already covered the EC2, Elastic Cloud Computing. Elastic Cloud Computing. Fatima, please turn off your video. Okay. So when we design this product, always we have to remember there are different, the layers which make the foundation of any product. So for the storage, we already covered the EBS and EFS.
Sorry,
and all.
Dinesh. Na
No problem.
Wi-Fi connect பண்ணிட்டேன்.
No problem, Fatima. I think you didn't notice. That's the reason I told.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. So for the storage, again, we have S3 also is one of the storage in your AWS. Now we'll talk about what is S3. If you ask me simply what is S3, a simple I can tell it's a simple storage service. It is a simple storage service. But what is simple storage service? Why do I need to go for S3? Because in case of an AWS, the cost effective storage option, if you ask me, definitely AWS, I will recommend. The cost effective option in case of an AWS, which is simple storage service. And along with that, here we will get the unlimited storage. Remember, here you will get the unlimited storage. Unlimited amount of storage, you will get it. If you go for S3, where you are storing your data, which is unlimited. So you guys can store unlimited data over there. Yes, here we have a restriction. Yes, restriction, you can see, like restriction is there in terms of the size of the object, actually. In terms of size of the object. I think it is allowing single object will allow maximum of 5 terabyte. 5 terabyte. We can be able to store unlimited data. But suppose if you are saving one file, if you are storing one file inside your S3 bucket, that file should have the maximum size of 5 terabyte. But you can have another file where you can store the data. So if I talk about the object means what? Maybe the file or images, video, PDF, CSV file, Excel sheet, whatever it might be. That is called as an object. So here we can store a different types of file. We can able to store different types of file. Suppose if I want to store some text file, yeah, we can store it. Now if I need to store any PDF, yeah, we can store it. Any images, yes. Any videos, yeah. You guys can able to store any file. But the one file, the maximum size, the single object, the maximum size should be a 5 terabyte. But you can store unlimited data over there. So S3 is a kind of, I can say, it's an object storage service. It's a kind of object storage service. So what is meant by object? What is meant by object? Object is the file, or maybe a notepad, or PDF, images, videos. That basically we can call it as an object. So if we ask me what is object, object is nothing but a unique identifier. It is a unique identifier with a key, and having some properties, having some properties. So every object, has some unique identifier, right? Every file has some unique name. It has unique owner name. See, when I say properties, what is properties? Properties is nothing but metadata. I'm referring the properties is nothing but a metadata. If you ask me what is metadata, metadata is nothing but the information about the objects. Information about the object. That is nothing but an metadata. Suppose let me open this particular file. Here you can see, right? This particular file has the 2 KB. This particular file, what is the kind? What is the time it got added? And what is the file name? This is called as a metadata. It is called as a metadata, information about the object, or some people they will tell, right, data about data. Data about data. So you are storing one data, right? For that you have some data. For that you have some information, like who is the owner, who is the name, at what time it got added, is there any backup? That is called a metadata. So S3 is a object storage service. So it's a unlimited storage where we can have, but for a single object, the restriction is a 5 terabyte. Guys, only 1 minute. Okay, sorry guys, listen. Any questions so far? Let's quickly confirm in the chat box. Any questions so far? Are you there? Okay, fine. Now, let's go for the practical session. How to create your S3. Guys, again, one more thing you have to remember. Generally, you know, EC2, we will call it as what? EC2. Most of the time, I will call it as instance, right? In AWS console also, you can see yes, EC2 is nothing but instance. In the same way, in AWS, this S3, we can call it as bucket. A bucket, why it is bucket? Because it's a container, right? That's the reason it is called as a bucket. So in AWS, whenever S3 refers is nothing but a bucket. You can create a many buckets inside your AWS. I will go here and I already have instances and all. Let me terminate. It is not required. Let me terminate the instance. And I will go with a different service, which is an S3, and click on this S3. It's a scalable storage in the cloud. So it's one of these service. Like your EC2, like your EFS, it is also one of these service in your AWS. It is telling, right, to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. S3 is the object storage service that offers industry leading scalability, data availability, and security and performance. So every object in S3 is stored in a bucket, right? So whatever, when I say object means what? Object means files, images, videos, that basically refer it as object. So we can create the bucket here. Let me click on create a bucket. Create a bucket. So the first line indicates a bucket name. You have to give the bucket name. But remember, this bucket name must be globally unique. Whenever you give some bucket name, right? If the bucket name is already created on AWS, we cannot create the bucket. For that, you have to give a unique bucket name. And they have given the rules also. If you want, you can read those rules for creating the bucket name. So they have given bucket name must be between 3 and 63 character long and can consist of only lowercase, number, dot, and hyphens. Bucket name must begin and end with a letter or number. They have given the complete, you know, the rules also in order to create the bucket. So when you get some time, you guys can read that how to provide the bucket name. Again, it will vary organization to organization, the project to project. The defining the bucket name, it will vary. Don't think like everyone will use the same bucket name. Not like that. The company to company, it will vary. So I will give some bucket name. Say this is my bucket or bucket, which is bucket number 1, hyphen. I can give the today date 22 hyphen February hyphen 2023. And along with I will give my initial also G. That's it. So I can follow some kind of standard for my own convenience, right? You guys can also use it. So company to company vary. You don't need to worry about this thing. But you should be, remember, it is a unique bucket name. Unique bucket name. So let me give the number here, which is 02. Okay. And then one more part. You have to select the region. See, when you move into S3, can you see here the global it is saying? Here that it is not selected with any region. So you have to select the region for this particular bucket. So there are many regions. Whatever the region that you want, which you can select. Let me go with the AP South 1. This is the one region that I can select. Right? Then come below. And this object ownership and all later we will come, no need to worry. And the another one is the important point, guys. The public access setting for this bucket. In default, no one can able to access this S3 bucket. So if you know even the IP address, you cannot access my S3 bucket. In default, we are blocking all the public access. Only I can able to access. You guys, not I, even I cannot access because we are blocking all public access. One more thing we did, I will tell you later. So we are blocking all the public access. No one can able to access my bucket. In default, we are blocking. It is blocked. So why it is blocked, I will tell you. Because S3 where you can store your photos, store your videos and all, right? So for that reason, in default, it got blocked. If someone knows IP address, they can able to easily fetch it. Now come below. Rest of the thing, now no need to worry. You just, add some tag. Let me add the tag. Say this is name, which is my bucket 1. Like that I can give some name. And come below. And apart from this, you no need to worry. Just click on create bucket. Create a bucket. Now it got created, right? So we have created a bucket. So one S3 bucket successfully got created. Now why we have created the bucket? In order to upload the files or images or videos, whatever that you want, if you want to upload, for that reason only we have created the bucket, right? Let me click on this. Let me click on this and click on this one. And here you can see one column called objects. So this is where, if you want to upload any files or images, you can able to upload. Or otherwise, you can drag and drop also. You just go to your local machine, drag it, and here you can drop it. Or if you want to upload manually, you can able to upload. So just click on upload. And you guys, it is telling, right, drag and drop files and folder you want to upload here. Or choose add file to add the folder. Anything you can do. Let me add the file here. Before that, I need some file. So what I can do, I can go to the browser, I can get some file. Say this is a cloud computing images like that. I can get it. Go to images. Let me get this image. Which one? This one. So save this image. In my desktop, say this is cloud computing 1. Save it. And I will take this image also. Not this one, this one. Computing 2. And save this. So there are 2 images I have that I want to upload. First, I will try with one image that we can upload. Add the file. And this is one cloud computing image. Let me click on open. Yes. We got, right? cc1.png. It's a PNG file. As the extension we have added. That's it. You can come below and you can click on upload. Successfully, your file got uploaded. This is succeeded. Can you see? I can see the status. And the size is 8.4 KB. This is what I refer, guys. I called, right, something called object. Object means metadata. Name is cc1.png. Folder is nothing. Type PNG file. Size is 84 KB. Status succeeded. Error. This is called as a metadata. Key and value pair. Metadata key and it is a value. Right. So let me close it. Close this. And this is the file. And I will copy the URL for this particular file and open in new browser. Open this particular image, whatever the image that I have created, right? Let me try to open that one. And I'm pressing enter. Unfortunately, I am getting an error. This is expected only. I'm seeing an access denied. Why I'm seeing an access denied? The reason because the public access, that is in default, it is disabled, right? Public access in default, it is disabled. For that reason only we are getting this error message. It is an XML error message saying that access the denied for that particular file. So let me go here. Let me go here and I can see the permission. When I see the permission, see in default, we are blocking all the public access. That's the reason we are getting an error. So what I'm going to do, I will go here and I will click on edit. Instead of checking this, I'm going to uncheck. I'm going to uncheck. And what it is saying, public access is granted to buckets and object through something it is given. Let me read it out later. Come below and click on save changes. And I will give confirm. That's it. Now objects can be public. It is public. Now let me refresh this one. Even if I refresh, I can see the error, right? Same access denied error. Why still I am not able to access? Why still I am not able to access? That's the question. Can you someone tell me why still I am not able to access? Okay, so far clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why still I am not able to access? Can you see here, even though public access I have given yes. Public access, objects can be public and block all public access, it's off only, it is not on. And here they have given like it is granted to the bucket and object through access control list, public policy, access point policy or all. It means that we have given the public access, but still you have to define who should access this particular, which IP address. You have to define the bucket policy. You have to define the bucket policy, who should access this particular image, whether you have to access this image or someone is going to access the image or some other IP address is going to access the image. Those kind of thing also you have to configure, guys, when you go with the S3 bucket. This is the another layer of protection on your S3 bucket. This is another layer of protection. Even though you have given the public access is yes, still you have to refer who should access your machine. Where is the machine? S3 storage. Right? For that reason, can you see something called bucket policy? If you ask me what is bucket policy, what is mean by bucket policy? So bucket policy is nothing but it is kind of JSON based policy, I can call on this. It is a JSON based policy. JSON based policy. Do you know what is JSON? Can someone tell me what is JSON? Anyone know what is JSON? What is JSON? JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. So generally it is one of the data collector. Basically it is called as a data collector. So you have a data, right? That data you can define in the form of key and value. You can define your data in the form of key and value. That is nothing but a JSON. Again, you don't need to worry about JSON and you don't need to explore JSON and all. Just you remember like it is one of the data collector, right? You know JSON and XML and all. So generally, you know, suppose if someone is transferring the data from one system to another system, we are transferring the data from one system to another system, they will go for JSON or XML. JSON is a kind of data for data transmission. For data transmission and all, we have to have the data, right? We need to collect the data. Where we basically collect the data? In the JSON only. JSON is very lightweight actually. For that reason, only people will go for JSON. But again, you are not from the developer background. You don't need to worry about the JavaScript object notation. It is considered like it is one of the data collector where we can store the data in the form of key and value. Key and value. So what I'm saying, now you have to define the bucket policy, saying that who should access your S3 bucket. You have to define the bucket policy. For what? In order to who should access your S3 bucket. For that, you have to define the bucket policy. How you can define the bucket policy? For that, you have to know JSON. But see here. Now I can click on edit. Can you see something called a policy generator? Through that, we are going to generate our JSON. Through that, we are going to generate our bucket policy through the JSON. See, you guys can go for, suppose if you don't know what is policy examples and all, you can click on this and you can explore. When you get time, you just explore this bucket policy examples. So there are different bucket policy they have given. Suppose if you need any encryption, if you want to manage the bucket using a canned SDLs, if you want to manage the object access with object tagging, so they have written the well-defined nodes. Through that, you can be able to see the policy. The policy, it is a JSON, guys. It is a JSON. Suppose if you require any SSD, KME for all the object data for a bucket, you just to copy this and paste it. That's it. Like that, they have given different JSON. No one will ask at the name of it, no need to worry. But as of now, remember, bucket policy in the form of JSON. It is available in the form of JSON. Why we need the JSON? Here we are going to define. What we are going to define? We are going to defining saying that like only this user or only this IP address should access my machine. So listen, now I can open the policy generator. Here you can fill, guys. It is given by your AWS itself. Using that, we are going to generate the JSON. Now let me select the type of policy. Say suppose I will go with the S3 bucket policy. It is an S3, right? We are dealing with the S3 now. I am choosing the S3. Suppose when I deal with IAM policy, I can go for IAM. But now as of now, I will go with the S3 bucket policy. And I have to add the statement. I have to add the statement. So I have to add the principal. Principal means who should access? The public, or you are going to give any principal? Principal means kind of who should access? You and me. Who should access? As of now, I will put it as star. Star means anyone. Anyone can able to access. Star. Let me put it as star. And come below, and you can see AWS service, which is Amazon S3, because you have selected S3 bucket policy. In default, it got selected Amazon S3. And what kind of action that I want to do? What kind of action that I want to do? Because I'm not able to see the image. I'm trying to see the image. I'm not able to see the image. So you have to select the action. I want to see the image. I want to get the image. I want to get this object. I want to get this object. For that, you have to select the action where you have an option called, there are different actions you guys can able to perform. So I go with, I need to see the image, right? I need to get the object. I need to get the photo. I need to get the image. For that, we have an option called get object, right? You can select this one. What option I have selected? I have selected the get object. And ARN, Amazon Resource Link. Yes, before that, I have one more question. Can you tell me what is URL, guys? What is the abbreviation of URL? Can you quickly tell me what is URL?
Unified Resource Locator.
Unified or uniform?
Not sure about that. Uniform Resource Locator.
It is a uniform resource locator. What is URI? What is URI? Uniform resource identifier. What is URN? Uniform resource name. Name. So this is the terminology you have to remember. URL means uniform resource locator. URI uniform resource identifier. URN uniform resource name. Right? See, suppose I will take google.com. Google.com. This is called as endpoint. In this endpoint, suppose if I type a resource called maps. Suppose if I type google.com maps. Now what will happen? You can see the Google map, right? You are identifying this map with help of this resource called map. Suppose I'm identifying this particular images. If I type images, can you see images here? Suppose if I type news, you can see Google News, right? Where you can see the news. So the after forward slash you are putting something, right? That is called as resource. You are referring this web application with help of a name called resource. There are different resources. One is the name, another one is location, another one is identifier. But here we are referring your application with help of a name. Name is one resource. In the same way, if you go with the S3 bucket, where you can see Amazon resource name. Amazon resource name. Now the question is where I can see the Amazon resource name? Here. Can you see the bucket ARN? Here you can refer this one. ARN colon AWS colon S3 colon bucket 1, the date that I have created. This is the bucket name I have given, right? This is nothing but your ARN. ARN is a kind of URL. ARN is kind of URL. It's a URL. Simple. It's a URL. Are you clear? Yes or no?
Yes, Dinesh.
Now simply I can click on add statement. When you add the statement, you are allowing the get object and you are giving the resource name also. That's it. We can generate the policy. When you click on generate policy, you no need to write this JSON and all. Automatically JSON got created based on the information that you have given. What information you have given? You have given the action get object and the effect you have given allow. What is the resource? You have given this one. What is the principle? It's a star. Whatever that you have given, right? Based on that, this AWS itself can able to generate a policy, the policy generator. Now let me click on close. Okay, I have to copy that one. So copy this, go here. Now you can paste it here. You can paste it here. Whatever the policy that you have generated, right? You just paste it here. Simply you can click on save changes. But unfortunately, I can see an error called unknown error. The error saying like action doesn't apply to any resource in statement. Can you someone figure it out why I'm getting this error? I can send you this one in the chat. Just to read this line. Action does not apply to any resources in the statement. And you can see this one. And you can see this one. And can you tell me where is the error? Why we are getting an error? Here only we can see the action, right? Here only you are seeing the resource. Why am I seeing that error? Can you someone tell me? And I sent you the error in the chat box. Just to refer that error and compare with this one and let me know why I'm getting an error. Can you try to figure it out? Take 1 minute time just to try to figure it out why we are getting this error.
Okay, Dinesh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, guys, are you clear? You got the solution? Why we are seeing an error? Nothing wrong and right, guys. Just tell me why we are getting an error.
The
Sir,
alignment.
version 2012, 1017.
That and all not no need to worry. So version just any number that we are giving. So you just see only the action and resource. What is the error that we got? The chart box I sent you, right? Action doesn't apply to any resource in statement. Only see this action and resource. Now tell me. Your answer lies between in the action and resource itself. No need to worry about other things.
The alignment correct
No, ma. No alignment problem at all. Only the data
Whether
that
the
we have given.
statement policy number differs.
No. Fatima, you no need to worry about others. Only these two. Action and resource. Anything we missed? Can you check? See, this is the bucket name, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Dinesh.
Yeah, it is the bucket name. Inside the bucket only we have a file, correct?
Yes.
The image that we have uploaded inside this bucket only. Where is that image location? See, here I have given, right? Inside the bucket we have an image called what? cc1.png. Is it available here? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, that's the problem.
CC1
So we are not giving the file location. That's why we are getting an error. So what we need to define here? We have to put one forward slash cc1.png. Are you clear?
Sir, one doubt.
But Dinesh, this one,
சொல்லுங்க.
இது ஆல்ரெடி நீங்க வேற இது ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ல இருந்து காப்பி பண்ணது தானே
ஆமா நான் ரிசோர்ஸ்
அதுல
காப்பி பண்ணேன்
CC1 நம்ம
ஆமா நம்ம ரிசோர்ஸ் காப்பி பண்ணோம் ARN காப்பி பண்ணோம் பட் along with it we have to give the file name also.
Sir,
இப்போ நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்னா இந்த இமேஜ் தான் நம்மளால ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண முடியல அதுக்காக தான் நம்ம பக்கெட் பாலிசி போறோம் பக்கெட் பாலிசில நம்ம அந்த இமேஜோட நேம் மென்ஷன் பண்ணனும்
இப்போ நிறைய இமேजेस இருந்தா எல்லா இமேஜ்
இப்போ ஒருவேளை 100 இமேजेस இருக்குனா இங்க நீங்க என்ன பண்ண தேவையில்ல ஒவ்வொண்ணா மென்ஷன் பண்ண முடியாது ஸ்டார்னு போட்டுக்க வேண்டியதுதான் என்ன மென்ஷன் பண்ணிக்க வேண்டியதுதான் ஸ்டார் மென்ஷன் பண்ணா என்ன அர்த்தம் எனி ஃபைல்னு அர்த்தம் இன்ஸ்டா இந்த ஃபைல் நேம் கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு பதில் நம்ம ஸ்டார்னு கொடுத்துக்க வேண்டியதுதான் ஸ்டார்னு கொடுத்தா எனி ஃபைல் நேம் ஆல் ஃபைல் நேம் அந்த பக்கெட்டுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற எல்லா ஃபைலும்
ஓகே
ரைட் சோ இப்போ நம்ம ஸ்டாரை வெச்சுப்போமே let me now try to save the changes and I'm not seeing the error, right? Okay, I will refresh now. Still, is there any problem by accessing that particular image? Yes, right? I can able to access. You guys can try from your end. I will tell you in the chat box. I will send you the chat box. Can you try to click that particular link and check it whether you can be able to see this image or not? Can you try? Will you guys able to access this particular image?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Right. Now, let me go to the bucket and suppose I will go to the S3 and I already have buckets, right? Let me click on buckets and I have already a file and all. And go to the permission and I have given the public access, that's fine. And here we have a bucket policy also. The bucket policy, instead of that one, let me, okay, just edit this one, bucket policy we can edit and come below. Here, I will write cc1 dot png. cc1 dot png. Let me save the changes. and go to the objects. I will upload one more file. I will add the file cc2.jpg file, open and click on upload. Now I have two files, right? And go to this particular file, copy this particular URI or URL and open this. Okay, let me go to your S3 and click on buckets and click on this. And I have this file, JPEG file. I can copy the URL and paste it, press enter. Now still I can see the access denied. Why I'm seeing the access denied, guys? Why is the access denied? Because the bucket policy that we defined, right? I have given only cc1.png. What I need to make? If I want to access all the file,
Star.
exactly, star. If
Star.
I define this one and click on save changes, and if you refresh, I can see the image. Any question till now, whatever that I have covered? Quickly confirm, guys. We'll go for next one. Okay, fine. Now, suppose I will go to this particular bucket and I can click on a permission. And same, I can go with the bucket policy also. Click on this edit bucket policy. And then, okay, I can go for the policy generator where, I will select this S3 bucket policy and I will add star and Amazon S3 and I need to get the object. I can go with the get object in order to retrieve the information. So click on get object and I have to give the URL that already have copy this. And but remember, when you paste, just to put / and make it as star. Then only we can able to access all the file. And I can add the statement, right? This is the add the statement. But in this time, I'm going to add some condition also. Now you guys also can able to access, right? What I'm restricting, only particular IP address has to access this particular resource, the particular image. Click on add condition. Here, the condition that I'm going to add, so I'm adding some condition. Is there any condition related to IP address? Yeah, we have a condition IP address. Click on IP address. And I will add this one. So anything which is from source. Source IP. So this particular IP address only has to access my machine. So for that, I should know my IP address. Let me type. What is my IP address? And this is the IP address. We'll copy this. And just paste it over there. And I'm adding the condition. What I'm adding? This image can accessible only by this particular IP address. Only my machine can able to access. That's it. I can generate the policy. Now we will copy this policy. We'll copy this policy. Go here. Let me paste it over there. I can paste it over there. And I can click on save changes. That's it. Now, let me refresh this one and this one. This one I can able to access. Why I'm not able to access this one? Okay, I can able to access actually. Sorry. This one I can able to access, and this one also I can able to access. Okay. Right. So now can you try? I will tell you, I will send you this one. Will you guys able to access or not? We'll see. I will send this one. Can you click on that one? Can you click and try? Will you guys able to access this one? Yes or no?
Yes, Dinesh.
You guys can able to access. Will you able to see the image?
Yes, yes.
I think you shouldn't. Can you check it again?
Yes, sir, I am able to access.
You also able to access. Okay, I'm shocking. Let me see. And okay. Can you try now?
Yes, sir, I can access.
Others also?
Yes, we both the image out.
You guys can able to access. Okay. Okay, no issues. Let me check today. So why you guys can able to access, even though I have added the public IP address here. So anything is missing from my side, I'm not sure. And this is not updated. Why it is not getting updated? Okay. Better one bit, guys. Last time. Can you try this one?
Error, sir.
Error, right? Others?
Yes, getting error, Dinesh.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
happened, right? I made the one mistake, guys, here. Here only I have made the mistake. What I have done actually, directly I have clicked on add statement. No, first I have to click the add condition, then only I have to click the add statement. The minor mistake I have done here. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's the reason, the policy that generated, it is different. Okay, it's a different policy actually. So see, here you can see the ID and version. Along with that, you can see IP address also. Earlier, I was not seeing the IP address. So here it is listing, right? Only this particular IP address can able to access my machine. Fine. Any questions so far? So today I have covered. In that, is there any question?
No, Dinesh.
Fine.
Sir, what if the data size, object size is more than 5 to them? So
No,
how
we
can
cannot store in a single object. The maximum size is 5 terabyte. So again, if you want to increase, you have to go for AWS where you have to seek the permission. But as per my understanding, the official documentation, after 5 terabyte, we cannot store the data in a single object. The one more thing, you asked kind of availability zone. You only asked, right, regarding the availability zone.
Yes, sir.
So whatever that I have covered, in that you cannot cover those top. You cannot, have the multiple availability zone. But if you want, you can go for template and all, or you can go for maybe a cloud formation. Through that, maybe you can able to do those kind of things. But again, and now based on based on the topic that we have covered, through that we cannot do. See here, if we go here, you can see the instances where you can see launch instance from template. When you select that one, if you already have a template, you can choose the template. Through that, what you guys can do within the different availability zone, you can able to achieve. Or otherwise, you have to go for cloud formation template. Anyway, you have to go for template. But in normal workflow through the launch instance, we cannot achieve that one. Fine. Any questions so far? Yes, can you confirm? We'll close today. We'll see tomorrow. Any question?
No, Dinesh.
Okay, fine.
Dinesh, can you share Saturdays classes?
Sorry, ma, புரியல.
Saturdays class அனுப்புறீங்களா?
அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங் தான் என்னால ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ண முடியல. நானும் அது வேற ஏதாவது வேர்ல்ட் ரெக்கார்டிங் இருக்கான்னு பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன். அப்படி இல்லைன்னா திருப்பி அந்த கிளாஸ் நான் எடுக்கிறேன். செக் பண்ணிட்டு சொல்றேன்.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye. We'll see tomorrow.